Welcome to My Worst Date. I'm Cassi.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
And we are back from vacation, from wedding, from...
We haven't sat down together in weeks.
Oh my God, there's so much to talk about.
Yeah. It's going to be a bananas episode.
Yeah, I feel it already. I'm like, how are we going to cram everything in there?
I know.
I definitely want to talk about your wedding.
Oh, obviously. You looked stunning.
Yeah.
I know. And we are very, very bad co-hosts and have not posted pictures to our Instagram yet. We have to do that because the listeners deserve to see. You had Pride and Prejudice inspired hair.
Beautiful.
Elizabeth Bennet inspired hair. Gorgeous.
Perfection.
Perfect dress.
You did have to cut out a chunk.
I did. She fishtail braided my curly ass hair, and I could not, for the life of me, get it out. I was taking a comb, like a little pick, trying to, and
she wanted to make sure that shit didn't go anywhere.
She's like, "Oh, I got you."
Yeah. Too good. It was too good.
It's a chunk like this long.
Oh no!
And like this thick.
That's like 2.5 inches long. That's insane.
That's a lot. That's a considerable amount. But that team,
beautiful.
Your glam squad,
They did great.
They were with it. They had like a bad bitches playlist that they were playing.
Oh, dude,
what
that
I will
was
tell
awesome.
you is this is the first wedding that I've been in that I've absolutely not had to do anyone's hair.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted that.
It was
I wanted you to just like
relax.
chill out.
I didn't know what to do with my hands half the time, which was weird. I'm like,
I mean, you did help. Like, we had one bridesmaid who I was like, she was asking me how to pin her hair to the side, and I was like, Cassie,
yes.
I don't know.
Okay,
so
you're
you
right.
helped with a few things.
I did.
But
help
you
with one
didn't
hair.
do anyone's
No,
whole
it was
look.
It was pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was really great. And I was like, at first I was like, oh, she doesn't want me to do her hair for her wedding. But then I was like, no, I'm not going to beg for it. This is exactly right. Because I am that person who's like, I do
Why
have
not?
no, and it wasn't me feeling like a way
It's
about
control,
it.
maybe.
No, and it wasn't even that. It's just me feeling like, oh, I should do it because this is what I do. And this is my love language is giving hair things. You know what I mean? Like that's my give. And I did your hair for your first wedding and, I did Keegan's hair. And I just feel like it's not necessarily that. And I didn't feel like, oh, she didn't want me to do it. I didn't think that at all. It was actually just really nice to just be.
I just wanted you to be my maid of honor.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was nice. Anyway.
It was the moment that I think you always dream of. Like,
It was so beautiful.
When he walked, dude, Vanessa, God bless her, sobbing in front of me was like so hard. I was like, pull it together. But the song, and when he finally turned and saw me down the aisle, I was like, tears, silent tears.
You could not even, like that moment when you walk down the aisle and you guys hold hands. That didn't even happen for like minutes.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I can't, it's too, nope. Both of you were just like, not yet, not ready. Nope.
I know. I was still like wiping tears.
It was beautiful. It was really stunning. I cannot wait to see the pictures. I cannot wait.
I can't.
Everything came together so perfectly.
How fucking awesome was our photographer?
She was great.
She was on top of it. She was a drill sergeant in the best way.
Shout out if you're in California to Archer Photography.
Great.
She was a badass.
Yeah,
she
she
was
was great.
Total badass.
Yeah,
She was great. I do. I always feel a way when we're asked to do serious pictures because I
Cassie,
look so
I was like, if you don't get your shit
stupid,
together, because the photographer was like, yeah, okay,
serious
smile,
face.
sexy, serious face, and I could hear Cassie next to me just like shaking and like giggling, and I was like, if you don't, and I know this because when we were on the cruise for our friend Amy's wedding, we did the people who were on the cruise had like a portrait done together, and it was only us 3 couples, and the pictures are so insane looking.
They're absolutely bonkers.
Cassie looks like she's holding in a fart.
All the ones, even without me in them, everyone looks bonkers with the serious face. Like they're all like in advertisement.
We look
for,
like we're realtors. Yeah, we do.
Or that we're all in like Days of Our Lives. It's like a very serious, like young and restless.
They also airbrushed us so that we look like soft little babies, which is very strange. Yeah, it's. We'll post those. We can post those somewhere, maybe to our story. So you'll have to be on top of it to find them because. Yeah, those pictures are wild. They also did it at like the end of the cruise when we'd all gained like 18 pounds in cruise
food weight.
Yeah.
Truly. We're all like bloated. Like bloated fish.
I also liked that we all went back to the hotel and like continued the post party in the
so
hotel.
Fun.
That was fun.
So
too.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to the Padre. They gave us all a free drink.
Yeah.
I had my free drink that night.
Heck yeah.
It was a
awesome.
great time.
It was lovely.
Your wedding was literally, it was a blast.
Wonderful.
It was
and
a
it was so
blast.
chill.
Yeah.
Too.
It was the perfect vibe.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't too stressful.
No.
Everything just kind of happened in a very
Natural way.
Pace. It was great.
And then you went to Hawaii for a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
I turned everything off for the first time in what feels like forever.
Yeah.
If you ever need like a mental health boost, I definitely recommend, if you're lucky enough to be able to, turning off your phone. It is gratifying to just live and exist in the world for a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah. I'm off social media again. I deactivated my Instagram. I deactivated my Facebook. I am still on TikTok, which,
Yeah.
by the way, again, I'm reiterating this. I'm so bad at responding to everybody on TikTok. But we see the things that you share with us.
Yeah.
We see them, and we again have not recorded for a couple of weeks now, and we have gotten tagged in the same story.
I don't know this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Share.
A number of times. So hold on, let me look him up so I can give him a shout out. Hold on.
So in the meantime, while we do that, while she's looking, I have a story. So I've been we had to pack for vacation. We went on a like little vacation, wasn't long, but I was I'd trying so hard to catch up on homework, be ahead of homework plus like schoolwork. Chris asked me something. I think it was like, where do you want to eat? And my brain couldn't literally think about anything at all. And I just looked at him and I did this with my tongue out and was like, do I look like a frog? And he was like, what is wrong? So now that is my favorite thing to do with Chris. I'm like,
Bleh, bleh, bleh.
do I look like a frog?
We were
It's fucking hilarious.
talking about this like in the hotel room actually after the wedding. I don't know why it came up, but like the secret language that you develop as a couple.
100%.
Because I've like taken like calling Eric babe.
Oh yeah.
Was then baby. And then it was a boy-bee, and now it's shaboy-bee. It's become the longest thing ever. I'm like,
Chris
hey,
is-
shaboy-bee. It's not even a word.
Chris is baby snakes always.
Yes.
no one like
Which just makes me think of diarrhea. I'm gonna be honest. And so I'm like, why is
Baby
that
snakes.
his nickname?
I don't know. Baby cakes, baby cakes is where it started. My mom used to call me baby cakes when I was little, and she still does because moms, right?
Yeah.
Baby cakes, and then I was like baby shakes, and then shaken baby, and then baby snakes.
Oh, great.
It turned into like a whole thing, like you did. Shaboy bee.
Okay, I did find it on TikTok. So this is Rye Toast 10.
Okay.
Is his handle on TikTok. I wanted to give appropriate
Yes,
credit where
shoutage.
it's due. So he posted his worst date ever. And he said he met this woman on a dating app. And she suggested going to this Chinese restaurant. And she's like, I've heard it's really good. And he's like, yes, I've been there. It is really good. I love it. Let's do it. So they get there and she's like, I actually really don't like Chinese food.
What?
And he's like, well, we could go somewhere else. And she's like, well, I didn't want you to be I wanted you to have a place
That's
like that I
weird.
knew you liked. And he's like, no, we can go get food that both of us like. And she's like, no, I'm used to mirroring people.
No.
So red flag number 1.
Yeah. No.
Right.
No.
Okay.
So whatever, they order their food and then he gets up to go use the restroom and he leaves his phone on the table, which I never do. Especially not
Yeah.
around strangers. That shit comes with
That's
me.
amateur.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd take my purse.
Yeah.
And my phone would be
Yes.
in my
Yeah.
purse.
In case I need to make an exit.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely on a date. I'm taking my purse. I'm
On a
taking
first
everything. I
date?
trust no
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he leaves his phone and he's like, I didn't think anything of it. So he leaves his phone. When he gets back, the food is waiting. And so he wanted to take a picture of his dinner. And he picks up his phone and it's locked. It's disabled, which means that somebody tried to get in and couldn't figure out the passcode, but it's disabled for 5 minutes, which means that because usually it's disabled for 1, and then if you try again, it disables it for even longer.
What were you thinking?
Yeah, which one of them?
Her.
Yeah, right? Because it's like you think that he's not going to notice this.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but he's like, you know what? Whatever. Maybe it's some weird technological fluke.
No.
So they go ahead. They eat their food, and then it's awkward. It's weird. He doesn't really want to continue the date. And
I hate this.
At the end of it,
I'm so freaked out.
At the end of it, she's like, okay, so what now? Like, we go back to your place or what? And he's like, no. Right? And so she gets really like defensive, the way that people do. We're like, I have another date after this anyway.
Okay.
I don't even care. Whatever.
All right.
So she's like, he's like, fantastic.
Great.
Whatever. So he puts down money on the table for their meals and tip, and then they go their separate ways. So he gets home, and then he gets a phone call from the restaurant, and the restaurant's
no.
You didn't pay your tab. You didn't pay your bill.
I knew it.
She
took
didn't
that money.
tip.
She took that goddamn money.
So he's like, I swear to God, I did. I left money on the table. And they're like, okay, well, can you just come in tomorrow? So he's like, yes. So he goes in. He's like, I swear I left money here. So they're like, do you want to look at the security footage?
Yes.
And he's
I
like,
do.
I would love to look at the security footage.
Yeah.
So what they find is what they left, she went next door into Sally Beauty.
No.
And then came back after he left, took the money and the tip. off the table.
Wow.
No.
But more than that, my friends.
Criminality.
More than that. He watches, they play the tape back, and he watches when he got up to go to the bathroom. She tried to get into his phone, couldn't get into his phone, and then put it underneath her ass cheek.
What?
Did she fart on his phone?
On his phone. And then just put it back. And
Oh my God, what in the pink eye is happening
Exactly,
right now?
Because
Why?
this guy is freaking out because he's
This
like,
is the weirdest fucking story I've ever heard in my life.
He's freaking out because he's like, I talk on that phone like this, like right by my face. He made an appointment with his doctor. He was like, if this bitch gives me pink eye. But
my
what
God.
an absolutely insane
What
situation.
that is a lot of bad choices.
And what was she trying to get into
What
his
is
phone
happening
for?
with her?
Why was she so upset about it that she then felt the need to fart on his phone?
Who can cue up a fart like that? I am so.
Maybe she already had one and she was so
was like, I
frustrated.
got one on deck.
So she's like,
You know what? Fuck it.
Good job. What is? Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's no shortage. We will never go out of business because
Never.
that is
People are
absolute bananas
bonkers.
behavior.
out of their minds. People are out
Who
of their minds.
Raised you has never been more appropriate.
I mean, and
What
the
is wrong with
boldness
you?
to like go next door, wait till he
Imagine.
leaves, and then go back in there and snatch that money off the table.
I couldn't.
I'm
Baffled.
I'm-
befoozled.
Wow.
shaboyby.
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm
shaboyby.
absolutely shaboyby.
So thank you to everyone who
Wow.
has tagged us in that. We literally have gotten tagged in that probably 10 times. Like
Bonkers.
we've been tagged in
Amazing.
it so many times. It's gone like pretty viral. I think it's
Yeah.
got like 400,000 likes on it at this point. So congratulations to Rye Toast.
Yeah. So far, that is one of the worst dates that I've ever heard. I wouldn't
that's
even
great.
know what to react to that. That woman.
What did she want? It makes me think, like, what did she
What a
want off of his
terrorist.
phone? Was she going to Venmo herself money or something?
Maybe.
Like, what was
Oh,
she trying to
that
get
could
into
be.
his phone for?
That
Yeah.
could definitely be.
Yeah.
You can't get into anyone's phone these days. You can't.
You shouldn't be able to.
shouldn't
I
be
mean,
able to.
if you're using a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
Oh, get it together.
Get
Get it.
password,
Do something different.
figure your shit
Get
out.
it
Yeah.
together.
Because
Yeah.
someone might fart on your phone.
Well,
So
or Venmo themselves. I never even thought about
Exactly.
that. That is
Yeah.
sus.
Yeah.
wow.
Woo. Well, that is.
Criminal for sure. Well, who should we fuck, marry, kill this week? We are going into this. Will come out the day before T gives.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was the weirdest. Like, why do we sound sad? I love Thanksgiving.
No, it was a. Oh, this is sweet. I'm
It's gonna be
excited.
so nice. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I was just in Washington D.C. And I was thinking about more founding father crap.
Oh,
but
Jesus Christ.
I don't want to do that.
No, not for the holidays.
No.
That place. Ugh.
Well, we all just got back from vacation, so we could do our favorite vacation spots.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm snaking Hawaii.
Yeah,
You got it.
It's mine.
You got it. I mean, listen, I just got back from Seattle, which I was telling Christina and Cassie that Seattle vibes immaculate. Like, some cities just have like really good energies, had great energy, but I can't tag it as a favorite vacation spot because at least while I was there, weather. Oh, and I understand I went in November. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's on me. But it was cold.
You also
and
didn't go for vacation.
No,
It was more like visiting family kind
I
of
would
situation.
love to go back, like
it's
when I can
different.
actually do the vacation things, the touristy things.
Yeah.
Definitely. Maybe in the summer. But yeah.
Yeah. So you're picking Hawaii.
Oh yeah, dude. I was telling you guys, I'm just now able to like sit down again. It's just so much bangity bang.
Bang, bang.
Well, you
bang,
had
bang,
like
bang.
honeymoon banging,
Destroyed that hotel room.
Yeah.
as you should
Yeah.
have.
Every
That
surface.
I
is your
left a
right.
very good tip for housekeeping.
Yeah. Luminol is going bananas in that place.
Luminol.
Yeah, we were like on
Lit it
the
up like a Christmas
balcony. We were
Yeah, you
doing
did.
all kinds of just
Okay,
nasty
shit.
things.
tree. Your
Just drunk.
downstairs neighbors are like, they're at it again. They're outside.
Just drunk on rum, and it was just
And rum is a horny
It is a
liquor.
horny
It
liquor.
really is. It is a
Truly.
sexy, horny
Yeah.
liquor.
island. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's a vibe.
yeah.
Very specific. Like rum and juice. Like
Yeah.
like a
Oh my
tropical
God.
juice.
Yeah, so we took Air Hawaiian there, and they give you like this special like rum punch,
Oh,
like
fuck
for
yeah.
free on the plane.
Oh my
She
God.
done.
And I was like,
Bye.
I'm obsessed with this
Yeah.
now.
Rum punch
we
is where
had
it's
to
at.
go. We had to buy Eric new clothes anyways because he brought jeans to Hawaii, which
Yeah.
is hysterical.
Which is,
But
what
then
you
we
do.
got a whole nother suitcase that we ended up checking where we got a bunch of souvenirs and this special like Hawaiian rum that we liked. We were like, put it all in the bag.
Yum.
Bring that horny rum with us.
That's right. That
Exactly.
sexy rum. I mean, that's the thing is like, because I'm not ever big on, speaking of that cruise we went on, like,
Yeah.
I don't buy rum to drink at home.
It's
like,
true.
Never. Like,
It's
it is
vacation.
a vacation liquor. And it's the
Absolutely.
same thing with anything like coconut flavored. Like, I'm not making a coconut drink in my home.
There's no Malibu in here.
no. But when I am on vacation,
Oh.
my God, nothing better than a pina colada.
Oh, I Mai Tai'd myself
Yes.
Of course, into a coma.
death.
I love it.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I love it. So we can fuck, marry, kill vacation spots, or we can fuck, marry, kill
Liquor.
liquor.
Liquors. All
Damn near
right.
killed her.
Well, yeah, I'm still in the horny rum mood, so
Okay.
I'm doing rum.
I have
Okay.
to pick tequila because I feel
man,
like
that was
people
mine.
have very strong opinions about tequila.
I love tequila.
I love it too.
I know exactly who tequila is, though. Man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tequila's doing cocaine
Of course tequila.
off the steering wheel.
Of course tequila is doing cocaine because he got drunk too fast.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh shit, I got to get back in the game.
Yeah. Tequila is dancing all night, using a
Yes.
lot of hip movement.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
A little sweaty, but that's
Shit.
okay. you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do now.
I-
Tequila's
you
gonna
got
be mine. Okay, let's see.
I
Vodka
think
is a-
you would be Jack. 'cause
Oh,
you're
yeah.
always-
Oh, whiskey.
Yeah, whiskey.
Yeah. Oh,
Whiskey.
oh.
Whoa. Bourbon. Let's be specific. I like
bourbon is a slightly different energy than just like straight up whiskey.
I like
Okay.
bourbon.
That's
All right.
true.
All right. Bourbon, tequila,
Bourbon
and
smokes
rum.
the cigar.
Yes.
Yeah. Bourbon is George Clooney.
Bourbon
If-
has the
if he had
potential
a-
to get crazy.
Yes.
Because whiskey always has the potential to
Absolutely.
get crazy. Whiskey's going to get in a fight.
Yeah.
But bourbon
Bourbon
has
might
a little
not.
bit more control.
A little bit more.
Might keep it together a little bit better.
Very, very, very
We'll
little.
try and mansplain like Charles Dickens to you or something.
Yeah,
you know,
because a bourbon can be like an
Pretentious.
old fashioned,
Yeah.
or
Or-
a Manhattan,
yeah.
or it could also be like a 7 and 7. You know what I mean? And that's a big
Yeah.
gap.
It is
to
a
go.
specific like kind of person
Yeah.
who I feel like that's their drink, the 7 and 7.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not making any kind of like negative judgment on it. It's just like that is I've met
Is
those people.
Seagram's isn't bourbon.
Isn't it? Or is it whiskey?
It might just be whiskey.
Oh,
Bourbon's
okay.
very specific to, as I
Yeah,
push my glasses
please.
up.
Educate us.
Yep.
It's actually very specific to the Kentucky region of the United States.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
I don't know
All
that
right.
that helps.
It's
Yeah.
also like
Matters.
I think Woodford Reserve.
Yeah.
I do like bourbon. I do. I actually really like whiskey, but whiskey was my drink for a while. But it makes me.
But you can do whiskey
congested
sour.
For some, I loved a whiskey sour. That
The
I
very
went through.
first drink I got drunk on.
Yeah. I went through
Peach
a phase
schnapps.
where
Woof.
whiskey sour. Wow.
I think I know what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
I am going to.
Is this
I'm
tough?
going to marry bourbon.
Yeah.
I'm going to marry bourbon because
We have
it's
many leather-bound books.
many.
Your
Yeah.
apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Yeah,
Right.
and tobacco, but
Yes.
candle.
A
you know.
hint of tobacco.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you can have good conversations. You're not getting too wild or out of control,
No.
but you're just you're having a nice, chill, calm, easy body high and just.
It's a
yeah,
special.
It's a sip.
It's a special cube. It's the round
Yeah.
ice cube, which is the opposite of a cube. It'd be a sphere.
Yes, yeah.
And then I'm going to fuck Horny Rum
Yeah.
because
I love that for you.
I'll tell you,
You have
they're
firsthand
both-
experience.
They're both wild.
Yeah.
They're both wild.
Absolutely.
But rum is a happier wild.
You're right.
I feel like.
Rum is fun time, good times. Tequila could go either way.
Risky.
Because
Danger.
tequila, I swear, tequila could be some of the best times of your life, or you're in jail.
Yep.
It's like one or the other.
Or it dropped you off in the desert and forgot to grab you.
Yeah.
Like, shit. No
Yeah.
way home.
Yeah. And then I am also that way with tequila. I'm like 50-50. And it really is like I haven't cracked the code on how to guarantee a good time on tequila.
You're right.
So I tend to stay away from it in general. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill it.
Okay.
I have a good time on tequila. I don't think I have a bad reaction to tequila. I think I have a pretty good one, usually. I also get that my hangovers aren't as bad
Oh,
on
interesting.
tequila.
Yeah, it's very clean.
Yeah. So, you know what?
I'm the same. Yeah.
It's questionable decision time. I'm going to marry tequila.
Whoa.
Whoa!
I'm going to do it.
Well, who
I'm gonna
knew?
do it. Because here's the thing. I really like bourbon, but like I said, my body chemistry has a weird reaction to
You might
bourbon.
as well have just told me that you're going to marry.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
I was going to say Johnny Depp, but specifically from
Yikes.
but specifically from Pirates of the Caribbean.
But he's a rum guy,
That is
notoriously.
true. That is-
Jack Sparrow is notoriously a rum guy.
You're right.
Yeah, I feel like other people might not understand him, and that's okay. But I do.
All right.
Okay.
I understand him.
Okay.
And we have a good time together.
Okay.
There you go.
And he treats me right.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
So, you know what? Everybody else can get
Wow.
fucked.
I love
I feel like
that.
he's an Aries. I'm not going to lie.
I love it.
So I'm going to...
I don't know if he's good for you.
You might not understand him, but I do. He's a good man,
We're
Savannah. Okay?
We're just going to keep our eyes real peeled. Just you and I. Private text. Private text between Christina
also,
and I.
I do feel like bourbon will try and mansplain something to me, and it
will.
will be my
will.
last straw.
Yeah.
And I can't do it. I just don't want to. So I am gonna fuck rum. I'm gonna do it. It's a loose,
Oh, it's
good time. It's vacation
sloppy,
sex. It's
yes.
sloppy, but you're gonna have like a great fucking time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
a thing where you wake up the next morning, give each other a high five, and are on your separate ways.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's okay.
I am also going to fuck rum.
Yeah.
Vacation sex.
It hits different.
It does
does.
hit
It hits
different. It hits different even if you're in a relationship or not in a relationship.
Yeah.
That's
and I've
true.
had both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is exactly the right answer.
Tom Segura has that bit where he's just like, anytime you go into a hotel, you're like, we are going to disrespect this
Yes,
hotel
yes,
room.
yes.
And that is what it is. It's
Well,
just
absolutely.
like, yeah, you are, it
Yeah.
feels different.
It's a different room. It is not your responsibility
Nope.
to take care of it.
Nor do I care.
No. Just bang, bang, bangity bang, 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 bang. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rum is gonna get fucked.
yeah.
I can't be risking my
I
life on
understand.
this tequila.
No, I know.
Like, I like tequila. Tequila was going to be my choice beverage. I also understand tequila.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm at the time in my life like where I want to have,
You need more stability.
I need somebody I can take
Yeah.
to Germany with me, who doesn't have like a DUI already, like on his record. We can cross borders.
Get a passport.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
way. Tequila can get a passport.
Tequila absolutely cannot get a
Understood.
passport.
Yeah.
Can't even get into Canada.
Wow.
Yeah. Tequila is like, yeah.
Do you know what Rum makes me think of? He makes me think of Paul Rudd's character, the surfer character in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Definitely. And would bang that guy. Would never bring that guy home to meet the parents. You know what I mean?
Vacation sex.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
But he's totally
I love that movie.
Guy. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I love that movie. I am going to marry Bourbon. I can handle a mansplainer. I love to call a mansplainer out.
Oh, I just tune out.
Yeah. I like calling it out like, oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, but in your home, you want to do that?
No, I think you get enough of those that you learn pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I'm not the one, so.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, listen, I get it. I really, I'm sticking with my decision.
Oh, no.
We did all forget about our best friend, though.
Vodka.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. We couldn't put vodka on the table because, like, vodka is my good friend.
Yeah.
Vodka, really, unless if vodka fucks me over, it's on me. I fucked up.
I did something
I did
wrong.
that to myself.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I am going to be the voice of dissent here. I don't like vodka.
Oh, I do.
There's no vodka shot in my life. I just, whoa.
Well, but you don't need to take a shot.
Oh, no. Vodka is about vodka diet, vodka soda.
You can put it in anything. That's the thing about vodka.
It's like, you can take them anywhere.
You can put it in anything. It will never really, it doesn't.
It's not going to disappoint you.
Unless you fill your drink with like half vodka or you're getting like pop-off.
Or you make a drink for the holiday cocktail.
Listen.
That's a handle of vodka with a splash of cranberry in it.
Dare you?
It's delicious.
I'm making it again this year.
I love it.
I am making it again this year. We're going to try and get the ratios right this time.
I put it all in.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, vodka is one of those things. It's like you go to Sonic, you get a Route 44 fucking ocean water and you can put vodka in there.
Amen. It goes everywhere.
It's true.
Yeah. Great.
Ocean water.
So yeah, if we're going to fuck, marry, kill friend, I'm going to friend vodka.
Yeah. 100.
Yeah.
We do have a new patron, so we want to give a big shout out, worsty welcome to Emily.
Whoop, whoop.
Emily, one name like Cher.
Yes.
We love it. Welcome.
Yes.
We are so happy to have you. If you have any suggestions for Tainted Love movies or Fuck, Marry, Kills, or even Tainted Loves that we haven't yet done, we would love to hear from you. Reach out.
Yeah.
Well, cool. You guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with stories?
Sounds good.
Awesome.
And we're back. Okay, Christina, kick us off.
Okie dokie. This person says, I went out with a guy from Plenty of Fish. Woof. Who lived an hour.
Already. Red flag.
An hour away from me. I live in the sticks, so this is normal. I texted him to let him know I was on my way, and this dipshit proceeded to text me every few minutes to ask me if I was still coming.
Oh my God, dude.
First of all,
Has he gotten burned before? Is that what that is? What is that?
he must have, but also I'm like, if I said I'm coming to you, that means I'm driving. Please don't text.
Right?
Like, I'm coming. So
do not disturb.
Seriously. So much so that I finally just had to call him and tell him to stop because I can't text and drive at the same time.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I should have turned around and went home right then. Finally, I get to the place we were meeting. It was a store parking lot. Romantic.
Oh my God.
Since we were meeting there and going
What
somewhere
store?
else
Important
right
information.
away. I know.
Need to know. I feel like a Sears.
Since we were meeting there and going somewhere else right away, I texted him and said I was there. Where are you? And he replies, insisting I come into the store.
No.
He
For
absolutely would not come outside to meet me. So I had to spend the first hour
I'm gone.
of this date following him around an auto parts store while he pawed through every display and bin.
O'Reilly's?
No.
I'm not walking around.
An advanced auto parts?
No. It smells like oil in here. I hate it.
I am so triggered because I remember my dad used to take us around like a Home Depot or a Lowe's when we were growing up. You know, that like smell.
Yes.
And you know,
There's a
such a
very
specific
specific smell.
it could not be more fucking boring for a kid.
No.
than
I
to
used to love it.
You gotta drop me
love
off in the garden center and come pick me up later.
I like pretending like the doors were like, we go fucking went to his house.
Following
I had a really good imagination.
someone around
On a
an
first
auto
date.
parts store.
No,
on a
that's
first
not
date.
it. An hour?
Oh my
no.
God.
Oh God, no! I would have. You gotta leave.
Finally, he was ready to leave the store, and I thought we were going to eat as we had originally planned. I was starving, but he said, no, I got to go return my work uniforms to my
Why
old
am I running errands
No.
with you right now?
What in the fuck is going on?
This is not a date. Oh, okay, I guess. So we drove in his car to this factory where he parks and says, hop out so I can lock my car up. It was cold and rainy. So, of course, he expected me to stand out in it.
What?
After like 15 minutes, I was like, fuck this.
I'm
and
sitting in your car. Why would you make me get out?
and stand in the rain.
No.
What is happening? For some reason, it took this guy 45
No.
more minutes to return his
I'm
uniforms.
gone.
So I was glad I went into the building to get warm. But apparently this was a huge no-no to him because when he came back out from wherever he went to return this stuff, he glared at me.
All right. At this point, call a Lyft.
Yeah.
Call a Lyft.
Get
Take
the-
it back to
Fuck
the
that.
O'Reilly's parking lot.
I'm out.
Get in my own car and go home.
Yeah.
And she drove an hour, right?
She drove an hour to meet him.
So at this point, you're like 3 hours in.
Yeah.
And you have not eaten. You're
No.
fucking hangry as fuck.
He's
No.
standing out into the rain. And yeah,
I hate this.
This is awful.
Disgusting.
He glared at me like I just dropped trow and took a shit in his lap and asked me why I didn't just wait outside in the cold rain for almost an hour. At last, he decided it was time to go to the restaurant. I sat there trying to keep a poker face while he talked to the waitress like he was addressing a toddler, messily stuffed his face and chewed with his mouth open wide and kept glancing around every 30 seconds like he was scared someone was going to see him with a woman in public.
Wow.
Plus, he kept asking me invasive and crude sex questions the whole time, too.
I hate
I have
this
whiplash.
person.
Couldn't be.
If you haven't, okay. So to recap, like she drove an hour. He hasn't talked to her pretty much the whole time. He's leading her around an auto parts store, then leaves her outside
In the rain.
You're
In the
glimpsing your future right now
And then-
with this guy.
and then like
But still
Then-
thinks he's going to get laid because he's asking you questions about sex.
correct.
Yeah.
Oh, the fucking audacity.
Oh.
I quickly inhaled a salad and managed to pay for it at the front without him seeing me. I told him I needed to go to the little girl's room and bounced. Luckily, this restaurant was across the highway from the store we originally parked at, so I crossed it real quick
right.
and blocked him everywhere before I even got the car warmed up.
Amen.
I'll bet-
Immediately. First things first.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll bet you $1 million and a house salad that asshole was married.
Well, yeah, that's probably why he didn't want her to come in. But listen, if you're trying to hide shit, like if you've got mutuals in that store and you don't want them to see you, don't bring me on your fucking errands.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm like, so okay, if you are married then and you want to do some sort of like have something on the side, that ain't the way, sir.
No,
No.
that ain't it.
You're not.
What'd you think?
How'd you get one woman?
Honestly.
How'd you
Honey.
get one?
Honestly. There's a certain, I think,
House
like
salad. I'm sorry.
I know. I think, especially like older generations, like, you know, the way that they treat women sometimes, you know what I mean? Where he's like, oh, this is fine. I take my wife to run errands with me and I can still get laid kind of thing.
Oof.
So
You have no clue.
That poor
bro.
wife.
Yeah, I know.
Sweetie.
Right.
I know.
That-
Linda, it's not too late.
It's not too late,
No.
babes.
You still have life left.
Yeah, exactly.
You can get your groove back anytime.
Yeah.
We got you, Linda.
All right. So my story says, it was my first date after moving to London. We decided to meet up in Greenwich for lunch. I got there a bit early as I wanted to explore a bit. When the time the date was closing in, I texted him with some lunch options and to see where he's at. I got a grumpy reply that the train was late and he'll be there when he was there.
I'm not trying to accuse you of anything, sir.
right.
I was just checking on
checking in.
ETA. That's it.
Man,
That's it.
That is a real thing for me. I hate when people get immediately like
Aggressive.
aggressive or defensive,
Yeah.
and you're just like, I literally am just checking in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to yell at me.
Yeah.
You don't have to get so 11.
Yeah.
He eventually got there about 40 minutes late, and he was not in the mood for lunch. I didn't push and instead said, let's go have a stroll and cool off from the train ride. We make it about 3 minutes from the station when a young man and his chihuahua walk past, and my date flips, starts shouting at the dog owner,
no.
Watch that tail. He then proceeds.
It's a chihuahua. It's like 4 inches off the ground.
Watch that tail. He then proceeds to hand me his backpack and walk back to the dog owner, continuously shouting and berating his dog keeping capabilities and the tail in question. He is desperate to pick a fight. I am shook, confused, and embarrassed.
What a
aggro.
No, that is
we're
one
done.
thing I could never. Yeah, we are done.
I
couldn't.
One of the
deal
reasons
with
why
that.
that was one of the vows that Eric made. He's like, I promise to chill out more in the car because I know it stresses you out.
Yes.
I'm like, I don't like that. I
No.
don't like
No,
that
that energy.
aggressive
Me neither.
energy. You know?
Yeah.
But,
And you're already
just-
stressed out anyway, especially if there's traffic and things like that.
Yeah.
And also, this guy did nothing. Like, this dog owner didn't do anything. He's just minding his own business.
I'm shook, confused, and embarrassed as this whole debacle is attracting quite a lot of attention on the boardwalk. The dog owner does the smart thing and just walks away.
Yes.
And my date surly returns to me, sodden over the fact that there's no fight had happened.
Yeah, he wanted to fight.
Yeah.
That was very apparent.
The
Yeah.
date is already over in my head, but I can't help myself, and I just have to ask, what was that?
What the fuck?
The date looks at me perplexed and says, didn't you see? That dog's tail brushed my leg.
Oh, no.
Oh, my
Oh, my God. It touched your ankle.
The tail brushed my leg. Can you imagine? That is we'll talk about a hair trigger.
No.
Nice.
Thank you.
No,
good.
I'm like,
I'll be here all night.
I would hope that the dog touched me. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're lucky
I
I didn't
know.
stop to pet it.
Blessed.
You're like-
Blessed by that chihuahua,
Yes,
definitely.
exactly.
Yeah, no,
The
you
tail
can't
touch my
date
leg.
that person because like
Never.
what's going to happen when they've had 2 shots of tequila
Oh.
at the bar and somebody accidentally bumps into their shoulder?
They
Oh,
cannot.
They're going off.
They cannot
Straight to
tequila.
jail.
yes.
They cannot tequila.
They can't tequila and they can't rye whiskey either.
I don't think they could probably barely rum.
You're right. They're not having fun on rum. No.
They just don't seem like they're having fun at all.
No.
Rum might make them just kind of mid.
I can't imagine going through life being that aggressive.
I know, angry about everything.
Yeah, I'm
Carrying
too
that
tired.
weight?
I'm
Just
too
carrying
tired
that?
for
Oof.
that.
I, still not seeing the logic in this whole situation, can't help but smile and calmly state, it was a chihuahua wagging its
Right.
tail. Are you afraid of dogs?
It's not like it was a Great Dane that hit you in the fucking face. You know?
That's
dates-
actually really funny that she said that too. Like, are you
afraid of dogs?
And it's a chihuahua.
Yeah.
It's like kind of.
It's not like it bit you. Its tail touched you.
Yeah.
Right.
The date's eyes turned dark and he now starts shouting at me, of course you're taking the dog owner's side.
I
You
absolutely-
women can't be trusted.
us women.
Yeah.
Wow.
We certainly cannot. I will take the dog side every time.
Yeah, I'm gonna
if
take the
that's
dog.
what that
dog
means.
wins every time.
Yes.
Me, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and get out of here. Good life. Have a good life. Take care. Good luck. That was my first 8-minute date, and I should have left at minute 1.
Dude,
Oof.
get help. Go
Honey,
to therapy.
honestly.
Get some anger management.
BetterHelp.com/myworstdate.
Except for not really that link doesn't work anymore.
That link doesn't
Don't-
work.
Don't try it.
Yeah.
But yeah, woof. Okay.
Literally, woof.
I matched with this guy on Tinder and he offered to take me out to dinner. I thought that sounded nice, so later that night he picked me up. We were driving and he asked me where I wanted to go. I told him I was fine with anything. He said, okay then, and pulled into Subway.
Okay. Cool.
Oh my God. Twice touch meat.
He then told me that he wasn't hungry, but that I should eat. So he...
Just chug a foot long in front of you, bruh.
So he stood outside of the Subway and watched while I went in and got myself food. At this point, I was already mentally done.
Yeah,
But I wanted to
like,
see how
I
much
could have done this all by myself already, and I don't need
eating
you.
my sad sandwich alone at my coffee table.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You know,
I
as
could have
God
been watching
intended.
something on TV
Yeah,
that would have been much more
exactly.
entertaining.
Do you guys know, like, first of all, I remember when Subway used to cut the sub
Yes.
out on the top.
Loved it.
And that was
Yeah.
fucking bomb. But I think I've only had one sub from Subway my entire life.
What?
What?
I've never deviated. You guys.
Oh, one type of sub.
One type of sub.
I thought you were like, one time ever in my life have I eaten a sub.
No.
Can't be true.
I was like, right.
No.
Italian.
We've all gone
Spicy
through.
Spicy
Italian.
Chris is saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spicy Italian.
I get the same fucking thing since I'm like, well, I don't need to deviate. I know I like this. I don't think I'd like something else. So
I go
guess
through
this is
phases
always-
where I'm like,
do
this
too.
is my, well, not anymore because I have no desire to go back to Subway.
Yeah.
If I never eat at Subway again the rest of my life, it'll be fine. You know what I mean? But like, I definitely went through phases. Like I had a chicken teriyaki phase. I had a meatball sub phase.
Only person I know that has
I love a meatball.
multiple subs.
Me too.
Yeah, and then
You
I had
too?
I had an Italian BMT phase.
Yeah.
like that
Okay.
is what I would get. Yeah,
I'm a spicy Italian.
Yeah.
I had a tuna phase.
You know what you like, and the
know.
tuna is like half
know.
yoga mat. Yeah.
No, that's the bread.
sorry. Oh no, the tuna has turtles in it. That's what it was. Yeah. They talked about it on Daily Psychic.
That's fucking awful.
Yeah. Well.
Wet bread.
Well, okay. At this point, I was already mentally done, but I wanted to see how much worse it would get. Spoiler, it got so much worse. So I'm sitting in the car with this stupid fucking sub on my lap, and he decided that it was a great idea to drive around, specifically through a dark, isolated ravine that was nearby.
That's not a good idea. I would rather not.
To have no plan.
No.
Just no plan. I don't know where I'm going to take you.
I got a 6-inch in my lap.
The plan is
and
to
just-
drive around. Like, okay.
Okay. I mean, it's not like, it doesn't sound like there's like a night, like Christina and I have notoriously just driven around.
Yeah.
Like had conversations.
Sure.
We'll drive
But
through
we're
the
like
Hollywood
friends.
But
Hills.
yeah, it's not a first date.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
As an adult person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if we got some Taco Bell and decided to like drive through somewhere,
The
I'd be like,
hills,
okay,
yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, not when you're like first meeting.
No.
It's weird.
He drove for about 10 minutes into the ravine, parked the car next to an abandoned tennis court, and said, okay, you can eat now. I was just thinking,
The fucking weirdest thing.
I was just thinking, I really don't want to die here. So I choked down the soggy sub while he stared at me. It just reminds me of when your brother-in-law, when we were on your bachelorette.
Yes.
Where he's like so drunk and
The ice had melted in the cooler.
someone had
The
bought these
fucking
subs
sub.
at like 10 a.m.
Yes.
And it was like,
now 10 p.m.
yes.
in a cooler where the ice had melted. Everything's soggy as shit.
Right.
Wet bread.
Which-
as
To be honest, as she says in this story, Subway sandwiches are half wet already.
Yeah.
Like they're soggy to begin
yes.
with. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then he's just palming this like 10-hour
Subway.
old, 12-hour old.
Sideways. He's
sideways,
doing it
smashed, smashed with his hand facing his face,
Right.
smashed down like a child has
Yes.
first time eating.
Right. Yeah.
God.
Like for the listeners, I'm trying to figure out how best to illustrate this. It's like fingernails toward the mouth.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
palm
Fist out.
towards the mouth.
Eating the sandwich the wrong way.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
say it's the wrong way because
Yeah, it is. Nobody
What
eats
other
the sa-
way is
you're
there
not
to eat
eating
a
a sub?
sandwich?
Not like way.
But you know what?
that
Ever
way.
since that happened, I'm like, that's the way you should eat a Subway sandwich.
Well,
that's
now-
the respect a Subway sandwich deserves.
Oh no!
I'm coming for Subway.
Man, you
hard
really
right now.
are.
I really
Oh
am.
my God.
Listen,
Subway canceled
I
us.
feel like I saw a TikTok and I was like, yes, where this creator, I cannot remember his name, but he has the best New York accent. He's fantastic. But he was basically saying how like, why did everyone have a Subway phase? And why did that Subway phase coincide with when you were like the most depressed you've ever been in your fucking life? And I'm like, that is so
Damn.
true.
Wow.
Like, I think I ate the most Subway when I was in the worst place. Of
course.
you know? And it was easy. And look, it gave me what I needed when I needed it. And I'll give Subway that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay? But
That's it.
No more.
I don't ever want to be in that place again. I've moved on. All right. I'll at least Jersey Mike's it. If we're gonna let's step it up a little bit. All right. Okay. Anyway, so he's watching her choke down this soggy sub. The second I was done, he pulled the car out and drove me back home. I was so grateful to make it home in one piece that it took me several days to process how fucked up that date
It
was.
was so
Yeah.
weird. He just took you to
And
go get a
watched
sub
her. Does he have
and
a-
watched you eat?
A fetish.
Maybe.
He wants to
be.
watch her eat a
yeah.
Subway
An
sub
eating
with
fetish?
the gentle sounds of the ravine in the background. The cherry on top, at 2 a.m. that night, he came back to my house uninvited, carrying a bag full of stale donuts, and asked me if I wanted to have sex. but it had to be without a condom because he didn't have any.
Oh my God.
So he shows up. He prepared with the donuts.
You got donuts, but you couldn't pick up a fucking condom at the fucking 7-Eleven?
A bag of like day-old
Jesus
donuts.
Oh my
Christ.
God.
As an offering in exchange for sex.
Can I have sex, please?
Are you
do
an
love a
alien?
donut, but
Sex for these donuts?
Like, do you think that is
this is the exchange rate, right?
I really feel like it's a K-Pack situation. You know what I mean?
Honestly.
Where I'm like, this is
Yeah.
like not a person. Like this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
somebody's
This is
first time on earth.
8 squirrels in a fucking jar.
They
suit.
spent 10
Yeah.
hours on TikTok. They think they know how people and they
my
don't.
God.
They don't know how to people.
Yeah.
Speaking of squirrels, can I tell you the fucking funniest story?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I was opening my curtains the other day, and 2 squirrels just fucking looked at me like I intruded them.
You did.
And they're home, and I'm like, excuse me?
The outside is their
Get
home,
a
in
fucking
fairness.
tree. They're just sitting there like, I was like, oh God.
They're making eye contact and they don't stop
I
thrusting.
know.
Like,
Oh, God. I like screamed. I'm like, Chris, there's 2 squirrels just
watching
fucking right here.
I am uncomfortable
They're
watching
so
animals
horny right
fuck.
now. Oh, it's
like
awful.
anytime. Like if
No.
I'm watching I don't care if David Attenborough is
Thank you.
narrating it.
Don't
I
wanna
don't
hear it.
care if I'm watching it on Planet Earth or whatever it is. Even when we watched Prehistoric Planet, and I know these are CGI dinosaurs,
Yeah.
I do not want to
Nope.
watch
Absolutely
your
not.
mating ritual ever. I'm not curious about it.
Not even
Yeah.
the least.
I don't want to know.
I think the only thing worse is pooping.
Oh God, I don't need to
I
see.
don't even like to watch like dogs I own poop. I'm like,
doesn't
no,
bother
and
me
they always
nearly as
and they
much.
always look at you like
Yeah.
they're sad, they're
Yeah.
ashamed.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm so sorry I'm doing this to you. Their ears are all back. They
Yeah.
look all like, no. I just, no.
Oh man. I totally lost what I was gonna say.
okay, well, you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with the Tainted Love?
Sounds
Yes.
good. And we're back.
All right. So I have the Tainted Love. I got lucky and I found a Medium article.
Oh, the best.
Yep. It was
Best.
written by Sibla Code. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. But the title was inspired by the plot of a true crime book.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
I won't say the rest of it because it'll give it away. But I'm going to tell you guys about a beautiful girl, Alexandra. She was described by classmates, of course, as like beautiful, bubbly. They convinced her, like she was so popular. She lived in Vancouver. Her family was originally from Yugoslavia, but they immigrated over to Canada to, improve their life, that kind of thing. She was born in 1966. So she's in high school. They're like, you're so pretty. You're so fun. Like, you should try out for this local beauty pageant. She's like, whatever. Like, I won't even.
Shut up, you guys.
Shut
my
up, you guys. And then
God.
she won it. She was
my
like, did it for a
God.
laugh and totally won. And then went on to compete for Miss Canada. She didn't win that, but she was still like, she had a good time.
Hot enough to be in it. So that's
Hot-
great.
exactly.
I love that for her.
Very popular, very friendly. She, after high school, went on to dental assistant school and was starting her career. And then, Cassie, this made me think of you. One of her favorite things, her and her mom were like besties.
Yeah.
They had a really great relationship. So one of the things that they liked to do on the weekends was just go to open houses.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. My mom and I have done.
My mom and I used to do that too.
My mom and I-
No
mom and I used to do
intention
that.
of
I've done
buying
that.
it.
No.
Just like going,
Yeah.
eating the snacks,
Uh-huh.
looking
See
at the
it.
way other people like arrange their furniture.
Snooping.
And
Mom
stuff.
and I
Snooping?
have
Yep.
done that. Well, because we used to live by New Albany in Ohio, which
Oh,
was like
yeah.
when all those new houses were coming up, all
Yep.
these like incredible Georgian houses of like in that area. We were like, let's go snooping.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. So I think that that's so great.
Hilarious.
So anyways, they're at this open house. They're like eating snacks and they speak Syro-Croatian.
Okay.
So, they're speaking the language to each other, probably talking shit about the different houses.
Love that for them.
But they're like, it's Canada. Nobody speaks this language. So, but at this open house, someone came over and was like, holy shit, I speak that language too. And they start talking to each other and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so great. We didn't know there was a lot of people here by that. And her name's Jelka Pesic. And Jelka's like, you are incredible. Like, Alexandra is beautiful. Everything. She's like, you have to meet my son.
Uh-oh.
My
There it is.
son is just your age. You're perfect for him. You speak the language, you know the traditions, like blah, blah, blah. Alexandra's like, no, like I'm good or whatever. She's like, no, you have to stop by.
No.
have to.
I really don't have to.
Have to. Our family owns this body shop. It's Sam and Sons, because Jelka's husband's name is Sam, and the sons work there as well. And Alexandra's like, well, you know, my car is, you know, kind of having trouble. She's like, bring it, no charge. Like, we'll fix your car.
Sold, I'll be there.
The whole thing. So Alexandra's like, well, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
What am I going to waste
Lose money on this deal?
You know?
Yeah.
So she goes to the to Sam and Sons to get her car looked at. Jelka's like, put her in the front of the line, red carpet,
VIP treatment.
exactly, just like really over the top. But then she meets Joe, and she's like, Joe is very handsome.
Okay, so Mama wasn't lying, because I was getting real.
Yeah.
And you know what? When I say this, I don't want anybody taking it personally, because you know what I'm saying. It's like hashtag boy mom,
Yes.
boy mom TM energy,
Yes.
where they're like, my little boy is special,
The
sweet,
best.
sweet baby boy.
No, that Alexandra and Joe like actually like really hit it off.
Good.
It's
Okay.
like
Well,
love at first sight.
Probably not
Wow.
good, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Joe
We forgot
is,
what this was.
I know what this segment is. I'm like, and then they get married and they live happily ever after, and end of story.
The end. And this is 1988 in Vancouver, Canada. And you can tell from his like mustache
Oh,
or whatever.
wow.
Mustaches.
But he has taken her to all the fancy, flashy restaurants.
Oh.
They're going to the club.
What do you think that those restaurants were like in 1988? There's just like a lot of like salmon
Tableside
mousse, you know?
Caesars.
Tableside
A lot
Caesar.
of parsley for no reason.
Yes.
Just as like a accent. I feel like they put parsley on fucking everything.
parsley too. Yeah.
Like you go to a Pizza Hut buffet and everything is sitting in parsley.
Setting in parsley. It's right.
Why?
Oh, man.
oh my God.
Gosh,
Pizza
wow.
Hut buffet.
That was a
That's
journey.
a minute. But so he's taking her like on motorcycle rides, all of it. She's like being treated like a princess. He shows up with flowers all the time. She's telling her friends like, this guy's the one. And 1 month later,
Holy shit.
1 month
No,
later,
That's
No.
too soon.
he pops the question.
Feels too
and
soon.
she says yes.
That feels too soon.
Yeah, put a pin in that because we'll talk about why exactly that is too soon.
It's too soon always.
It's too
I am
soon
going on record. Always.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No matter what.
I don't care. I don't need you in my mentions being like, well, my grandparents knew each other for 2 days and they've been married for 75 years. I don't give a fuck. It's too soon.
Exactly. So they're getting ready to make their wedding plans. She's over the moon with Joe. But little red flags start to appear in that Jelka has very strong ideas about what the wedding should be like. What the
Jelka?
flowers should be like.
Her mother-in-law.
where
Jelka
it
paying?
should be held. Yep, exactly.
Is Jelka paying for this wedding?
I don't know the answer to that, but Jelka seems to think she was because she's like, this is where you have it. These are the flowers. Here's the decor. This is the dress you're going to wear.
No. See, I don't think
That is
that's...
hashtag boy mom. She's like, I don't have any daughters. So this is my wedding, actually.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like people have mixed opinions on this. Even if you're paying for it, it is still not your wedding.
That's right.
Like you don't get to
That's
make.
right.
You can voice opinions about things that you would prefer or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you love your daughter-in-law and your son, you would want it to be what they want.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
All the way in New Zealand.
Right. Alexandra's like not having it. She's like, I want to choose my own dress. This is our wedding.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
bare mins.
Going to Joe and like, hey, like be on my side kind of thing. And he's like waffly about it.
Don't like that.
No.
We're done.
Finally sides with her and is like, let her have her wedding kind of thing.
Wow.
To the point where it's like Alexandra's almost like, you know what? Like maybe not. Maybe I don't
Should have
wanna
listened
do
to that
this.
little
Yeah.
voice. Honestly,
Yeah. But she ends up doing it. So, you know, in 1988, they do get married.
Can I sidebar really quickly because I heard the most bananas Reddit story recently where it was like, it was an Am I the Asshole? And it was a wife who was like leaving her husband, like she was divorcing him, I think, because she had said, like, you know, she had a really controlling mother-in-law and she was going on vacation. The son wanted his mom to go with them on vacation. And she was like, absolutely not. Like, we don't get along. She's really controlling. Like, no. And he was like, okay, yeah, for sure. Like, this can just be our vacation, whatever. The mother-in-law showed up at the airport because the son secretly behind his wife's back bought his mother-in-law a ticket to go with them on vacation and just thought that she would just go along with it because they were already on their way to vacation. And she left him at the airport and was like, we're done.
Yeah, not the asshole.
Can you fucking imagine? What is going on with your like mother-son relationship?
I don't love that.
That you want her to third wheel your vacation with your wife.
I have a son and I'm not interested in this.
My mom made a joke. She's like, oh, I'm going to come with you to your honeymoon. And I was like,
what the fuck is wrong with you?
No. That is not going to happen.
No.
I know for a fucking fact that is not going to happen.
No.
Do you, Eric would lose his mind.
Eric?
If your mom
what are you talking about? Christina would... Christina... This would be a tainted love story. Like
I know, honestly.
Like we opened the emergency hatch,
and that's when she snapped. You know?
Oh man.
So, anyways, they get married and they go off to honeymoon in Hawaii, and they had just recently moved into this like tiny apartment. You know, Jelka and her mom had like decorated it. They had moved in, so they were excited to like get home to their.
I cannot
their new
imagine
place.
my parents
already. Yeah, Cassie and I
house.
look. I appreciate you buying me furniture, but the idea that like my mother-in-law and my mom decorated my apartment.
No. Like Alexandra had decorated it with her mom. Her mom's help, like that kind of thing.
Got it.
So they get home from Hawaii. They unlock the cute little great like honeymoon we had. Jelka had come in and completely redecorated.
No, we're moving.
And I'm not talking about like, I mean, like painted, new furniture, like fucking the whole 9 yards.
I think I just made the audio spike. No,
absolutely.
No,
they came home to a different fucking apartment.
It ain't for
me.
No.
You, Christina, you just got married and you just moved into a house.
Could you imagine?
If you got back from Hawaii and
your mom
redecorated? She's got a big fucking Shark Tale poster hanging above your bed.
Eric does want to get that Sex of the Box poster that she's got down in the den.
Oh my God. Fucking God.
Yeah. So Alexandra's furious. First of all, like, how does she have a key? Like, how did she get in?
How
like,
does she have a key?
Acceptable.
She's just glaring at her husband. Like,
yeah.
How'd this happen?
And, you know, so they have a huge fight about that. And she's like, I want to be able to decorate my house the way that I want to decorate it.
That is not asking too much.
It's literally the bare minimum. Again, it's like the bare minimum.
And Jelka's like pushes back or whatever. And
don't
then,
you have
like,
a house?
Throughout the weeks, they're noticing that their fridge is like really full of food.
Okay, see, now that's fine.
And,
that's fine.
Like groceries keep appearing, and Alexandra thinks Joe's buying them.
Groceries
and
are really expensive right now, but
Alexandra's buying it. But it's not only that; it's like the stuff that they do buy, like the brands are different.
You gotta change the locks. You're right, Cassie.
Change the locks.
Well, that one's just better. You know what? That one's just better,
That's
Christina.
Just the better one.
She's doing them a favor.
Right,
is what she's doing.
So she'll come in, comes and goes, cleans for them, puts groceries in their fridge, that sort of thing.
Listen, if that was the kind of relationship that we had, then it could almost be like, oh, that's nice. She's coming in and she's cleaning and helping take care of groceries. That's not the kind of relationship they have.
Yeah.
She's a boundary pusher, crosser.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. No.
So Alexandra's finally like, I'm fucking fed up. You won't stand up to your mother. Because Joe, I can kind of see, because he works for his mother. So his finances, his family's finances are in her hands.
Time to get a new job, I guess.
Exactly. Like, which is what she's telling him to do. And like, he's just not, he's being
honestly, you need to move. You need to move to a different city. That's the only way that you're going to be able to
have your own life.
Yes. Move to a different city.
So she ends up moving out and moving in with her mom. She's like, this is not going to work. It's only been a few
she probably
months,
would have known this if she had known him for longer than a month before they got married.
That's why I put a pin in it. Yeah. She'd known.
She would have picked up on this shit.
That's why he wanted to lock it down early. He's like, if you meet my mom,
it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. And also, I will say this as well. Like, I was getting red flags from that first meeting at the open house. Like, I said I was good. I didn't need to meet your son. And it ended up working out because she liked Joe. But you being this pushy in the first place is like
a red flag.
A red flag.
Yeah. He's not a red flag. She is.
Yeah.
Mom is the red flag.
Exactly. And then he's a further red flag by
not standing up to her.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So she moves out, but she also finds out shortly thereafter that she is pregnant.
Oh, Jesus.
Pregnant.
Oh, she's pregnant. No.
She is pregnant. And
Hawaii.
She had too much rum.
Too much horny rum.
Too much horny Hawaii rum.
Probably happened on the balcony.
Yeah, probably. So she's like, tells Joe, and she's like, I will come back, but we have got to put boundaries in place.
I'm not kidding. You have to move, because once you bring a grandchild into the mix,
it's gonna be
that woman is
so much worse.
It's going to be so much worse. She's going to have opinions about everything you do with that child.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to tell you the thing that actually made her like go over the edge before she moved out, because this part is bananas to me. Not only was she doing the grocery shopping, she also went into Alexandra's closet, took out all the clothes that she didn't like.
Nope.
And fucking took her clothes and replaced them with clothes that she's like. And so when Alexandra went to confront her, she's like, I know what you look good in. You don't look good in those clothes.
I am so...
speechless.
Can you imagine? Alexandra's like, that's my property. That's like,
that's
give me my fucking clothes back.
So fucking weird. And your husband can't stand up to... He should be as pissed off as you are.
Right.
He should be as pissed off as you are.
Absolutely.
If not more, because that's his mom.
Right. If he's not, huge red flag.
Yeah.
Right.
Huge.
He should be embarrassed.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I would be so embarrassed.
So would
if it was my parent.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
wee.
So anyway, she's like, if there's any boundaries crossed, like, I'm fucking out of there. And to his credit, he's like, all right. And Jelka leaves him alone. She has like a calm pregnancy. She gets settled back in.
Shocking.
Like everything like that. Jelka and Sam come to them and they're like, you're going to have a family. Like, here's like $85,000 for a down payment for a house.
I'm going to tell you this. It would be hard money to turn down. You turn that down, because you cannot take that amount of money from those people.
Correct.
Because they already think that they can cross whatever lines they want to cross.
And now they own you.
Yes. You've taken money.
And they own the house that you live in.
Right. You can't. You turn that down. I'm sorry. It would be really hard.
Oof.
Well, they did not.
Yeah.
They did not. And the $85,000 was for the house that was just a few minutes away
Oh,
from
of course.
Jelka
Get
and
fucked.
Sam.
Absolutely not. No.
So they move in. And of course, nothing changes.
This is
but
like watching a scary movie when they
know,
run
when
upstairs. You're like, why would you go upstairs?
You're like, no, don't go. Don't. But yeah, she's just like, it was too good of an offer. That they had a tiny apartment. They're getting ready to have a baby. She's like, okay, like,
I know that it would be super hard in this economy. It would be so hard to not take whatever the 2023 equivalent
impossible.
is
Right.
of that amount of money. I know it would feel impossible, but like, look, you know what they're like. In fact, and the fact that it's down the street.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So she's like, okay, when the baby's born, like, there's boundaries, that kind of thing. 6 months go by.
Yeah.
The baby is 6 months old. They're like new parents. They want to get the fuck away from the baby and get out of the house. Sure. And have a date night. Joe's like, I'm going to take you someplace special. Remember when we used to go to the restaurant in the club? That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've arranged a babysitter. She's like, great. She gets all dolled up.
I arranged a babysitter. Be specific.
Yeah. You arrange your mommy to come over.
Exactly.
Why wouldn't you call my mom? Call my mom.
Miss Jelka comes in.
Oh, God.
And Alexandra's like, okay, like he's a very strict feeding schedule. He's still on breast milk. Like, here's all the stuff that he needs. He's being a little fussy, but he should get down or whatever. And she goes, oh, I can give him a special tea from the old country.
I really wish you wouldn't.
No, you can't.
You would not.
And she's like, no, just the breast milk.
Oh,
so
my God.
They end up going.
I'm calling my mom to come over here too. She's going to supervise you.
You guys
can
so nervous.
You guys can hang out together. Yeah, like, no.
It's so bad.
Can't leave this woman alone with your baby.
No. And what the fuck's in that tea?
No.
What is that tea?
Rum.
I don't.
Exactly. Rum tea.
I don't make the baby sleep. So she's like, okay. And they go to the restaurant and they're getting ready to go to the club. And she's like, let me just check on baby Brandon and see how she's going. Jelka answers, hello. Fast asleep. That special tea just really knocked him out.
Okay, we're not going to the club.
You killed my baby with your specialty. I'm coming home.
Also, again, I'm so sorry that I keep sidebarring, but I just had a recovered memory of when we went to the club in Bakersfield. That was so fucking funny. We transported, we got in a Wayback Machine to the year 2005.
In South Beach. It really was like a South Beach, Florida club. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? They were playing Mr. Worldwide.
They didn't play anything after 2008. Like nothing. Like seriously, it was so funny.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Amazing.
So they're like, oh my God, like the baby will not wake up. If the baby was breathing, barely, but like they could not wake the baby.
Yeah.
She's like, what? It's the tea from the old country. It's fine.
Get the fuck out of my house.
It's arsenic tea. It's fine.
So they take the baby to the hospital. Yeah. The baby is fine. They can't figure out what the fuck's in the tea.
Put it in a fucking coma.
And they finally get the baby like breathing back and he's being responsive. But fucking Alexandra's like, enough.
Never.
We're done.
No, we are done.
We're done.
The lines have been beyond crossed. There is no recovering from that. There's no coming back from it. You no longer have the privilege of interacting with my child at all.
No.
And she's like, we're done too, because you're not going to stand up to your mom about this.
No.
I'm moving with my baby to my mother's house.
Yeah.
And she fucking does.
Yeah.
And files for divorce.
Yeah.
She's like,
This
done.
is over with. Yeah.
So, yeah, in 1991, so they've been married like 2 years, the divorce gets finalized. And due to the fact that she had gotten a lawyer and told them about this Jelka incident,
Right?
and all the other stuff.
You have a record of it because you went to the hospital.
Yeah. And not only that, but Jelka was a little bit of a shoplifter too.
Oh my God.
So she put that in there. The judge gave her full custody.
Yeah.
Which Joe was looking for full custody too. But judge gave her full custody of Brandon and gave her the fucking house.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good. Oh, you know that Jelka was pissed.
I don't.
Furious.
I don't even know if I want the house, actually.
I'll take it and I'll sell it.
Exactly.
And I'll move somewhere else. I'll take that money from the house and move somewhere else.
Well, Joe moves out of the house. She moves back in. And it is only a few weeks later that she gets a package in the mail.
Nope.
And it's addressed to her. There's no return address. And it's actually a nonfiction book called The Deaths of Cindy James.
Oh, okie dokie.
Cindy James was a nurse in Vancouver who had been stalked for 7 years and then finally killed. Her death has never been solved. And there were highlighted passages in the book.
Sociopathic. Jesus.
So she's freaked out. She goes to the fucking cops.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, yeah, I mean, it's probably Joe or something like that, you know, but, you know, there's no proof.
All
Nothing
shoulders.
we can do. Exactly.
Yeah, especially with stalking. It's like, especially at this time period with stalking, they were just like, well, something bad has to happen to you first. Like something physical has to happen to you before we can do anything.
You actually have to die
Yeah.
before we can do anything.
Right.
So.
Right.
You gotta move, girl. You gotta move. Because she's doing all the right things, really. Like, you know, like she set up boundaries.
To live her life. She's, you know, working successfully as a dental assistant. She's a single mom. She's got help from her mom, you know. So she's like, okay, I've got this. But the highlighted passages in the book talked about threatening phone calls. They talked about following Cindy in like a car. They talk about a tree getting lit on fire in front of Cindy's house.
No.
And then the last passage highlighted talks about like the murder, and it just says you're dead, and that's highlighted. So all this stuff starts happening.
And then I disappear, and not in the way that you think I'm going to.
Right. She has full custody. Out. Sell the house.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Like you can go anywhere. Yeah. And honestly, her mom sounds really supportive. Maybe you both relocate somewhere.
Yeah. So
Yugoslavia is sounding really good right about now. That's where they're from, right?
Oh yeah. Right.
Bye.
Not in this time period.
I was going to say, probably
right.
Soviet.
Yeah. No. But so she starts getting threatening phone calls. That's the first thing. Or just phone calls where it's just heavy breathing.
No.
So she starts leaving the phone off the hook at night.
And I have to say, heavy breathing phone calls, some of the scariest thing you could
I
have.
don't love it.
Yeah.
No.
And then she goes to put Brandon down in his first floor nursery. She's like, he's down, the lights are off, so you know how you can see outside to the backyard when there's a fucking man standing outside the window.
Nope.
She calls 911 or whatever. They don't get there in time. So
obviously.
Dude is gone. Car starts following her.
Nope.
She writes down the license plate and everything. She's freaking out. And then she's sitting with her friends one day, and a tree in her front yard catches on fire. So that's all of them. The only one left is you're dead. Police haven't done fucking dick all.
Of course not.
I not to get political, but whenever people are like, if we defund the police,
what are you going to do?
What would you do? What are they doing now? Like, because this is always how it goes. Yeah. It's like they show up after the situation and they're like, I don't know what to tell you.
Just be more careful.
Be careful.
Put a report. Fill out a report.
So she's like freaking out. She calls a private investigator. She tells them all this stuff. The private investigator's like, okay.
Private investigator will get shit done.
Definitely Joe. So he's been tailing Joe. And he's like, can't catch him doing like any of these things. Well, on August 5th, 1992, she had been getting so scared that a lot of her coworkers were just like going everywhere with her.
Yeah.
You know,
like, nice.
Just making
not letting
sure
her
she
be
wasn't alone.
It's good friends.
So her coworker was like getting into the passenger seat of her car. Alexandra had started her car. All of a sudden, 6 shots ring out.
Jesus.
And 2 of them hit Alexandra in the head, and she is killed instantly.
I don't know why. I was like, maybe she makes it out of this.
I know.
I really kind of thought
the
she
whole
might
time.
have.
I'm like, maybe.
Yeah. So sadly, at 25, her life is extinguished.
Horrible.
Right there. But it's in daylight.
Yeah.
In front of like a bunch of fucking Vancouverians. I don't know. Vancouverists? Oh, what do you call Vancouver residents?
I don't know. Let us know.
Vancouver residents.
Vancouver residents who were like, wow, it was like a red Corvette. It was a very noticeable car that like drove off with guys inside.
And don't they own a car dealership or?
Yeah.
Right. So people get plate numbers. The police are able to see who police are active now.
Oh, yeah.
There's been a murder.
Well, now there's murder.
Course.
God, I guess got to do my job now.
So the car was stolen a couple of days ago. And so from that, they're able to get forensic evidence. They get like fingerprints and hair and some DNA and stuff from inside. And they're starting to investigate. But they're like, oh, she did write down this license plate number. Maybe we should check that out. And they start monitoring Joe Pesic and Jelka Pesic. And they're like watching Jelka. And she's like being really weird. She comes out of her house one day, gets into her car, waits there. Someone else comes out of the house, like a male, gets into the back seat of her car and then lays down as if to hide. And police are
totally
like,
normal behavior. Yeah.
Okay.
Taking nappies back there?
That's weird. And they follow them to the mall where Jelka gets out. The guy pops up from the back seat and then gets out a few minutes later, follows her inside the mall.
What?
A little bit later, Jelka comes back out and sits in the front seat. The guy comes back out a few minutes later, gets back down in the back seat like he does. And the police are like, this is really strange. Let's keep following them. They go back to Jelka's house. Guy pops up, gets out, and goes to get into his car and goes to drive away. And then cops are like, nope, get them both. This is weird.
No, we need to ask about some questions.
Yeah,
we got a couple questions.
It's just weird. It's just weird. We want to know.
I got a vibe.
So they get him out of the car, and it's kind of windy that day, and hundreds just start flying out of this guy's
I was going to say,
what the fuck?
She went to the mall to get go to the check cashing place or some shit.
So all told on him, he had $30,000.
Holy shit.
In hundos.
And just hundreds blowing in the breeze. And so then they're like, okay, yeah, you're under arrest. Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, bro, like, so yeah, the guy's name is and I'm gonna butcher this, Milan Nenandic, and he was like just a family acquaintance, and he had actually hired two other guys, Lawrence Delorme. He was already in the system for previous crimes. They found him from the fingerprints that were in the car. And so they were closely watched. And then they also found a third gentleman that was kind of involved in it as well. So they pull all of them in, charge them all with murder.
Right.
No one, like Milan's kind of like talking, but they all end up getting life in Canada, which means at least 25 years.
Right.
It's so upsetting. These stories make me so fucking mad because you have these people telling you what they're going to do.
That's right.
And doing it.
And doing it.
Right. It's not just like it was a hollow threat.
Yeah.
Like they are showing you, they are telling you what they're going to do. She did, everything right. The only thing I can think of is to have relocated, but like outside
but
of
it
that,
also happened so quickly,
right?
Yeah,
it's
like
just
they got married in '88. She was murdered in '92.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah, to me, it's just like great. I'm glad that you caught them. I'm glad that they were all convicted and that they all spent the rest of their lives.
Not all of them, because that's the thing. Joe was not arrested at all. They had nothing on him. He had a receipt from a public pool that he was at the day of the murder and claims not to know anything about his mother's plans, which is like, okay. So he scot-free.
And you know what? Like, because of the nature of their relationship, it's possible she left him out of it, but to act like you're clueless.
Right.
Like you're not clueless.
No.
Like, you know
who your mother is.
Yeah.
So this was in 93 that they were convicted. So they're supposed to have at least 25 years. But Canada has this thing with their, after 15 years, you can apply for an appeal or something like that. And she had been in ill health, so she applied for the appeal.
Christina, am I about to be really mad?
No, because they were like, she was not remorseful, not taking any responsibility whatsoever. Jesus. And they were like, well, then you can fucking stay in jail.
Okay.
And as far as I can tell, that's where she still is today, over 25 years later.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Wow.
Now,
mother-in-law from fucking hell.
The only silver lining to this story is that baby Brandon never spent a day on the Pesic side of the family.
Good.
He was able to go to Alexandra's mother's.
Change his last name.
Good.
You know.
And Joe, despite filing appeals about child support and alimony, he had never paid a cent. So they were like, no, fuck you. We're not going to appeal it. You never paid.
Piece of shit.
Her mom's sued the Pesics for wrongful death, won $350,000, which is Brandon's inheritance once he turns 18.
Good.
So
yeah, you know,
the only, like you said, silver lining.
The only.
You have to take, like, seriously, that, I know we make a lot of jokes about it, but like that, like, mama's boy kind of thing, you have to take that shit seriously.
That's
because it will dictate what your relationship is going to be. It'll like moving forward. And, you know, having a good relationship with your parents, green flag. But if you can't stand up to your mom at all and you just let the boundaries get crossed over and over and over, it's not going to get better.
Yeah.
It will not get better.
Well, I just don't understand why a mother would. You like invest too much in your children if that's who you are. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to. Like you have a life.
Well,
Right.
you should want them to have a life.
and you should want them to have their life.
their life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why somebody as a parent would want to do that. Like I have no interest.
Control, some weird control thing. I don't know.
But I'm just like, I don't know. I can't. I'm a mom of a boy, and I just I cannot fucking.
I wonder
imagine.
sometimes too if
And we're close.
somebody
Yeah.
like that didn't have anything outside
Of course.
of
Yes.
their
Yeah, that's what Cassie's saying. I think.
what I
Yeah, that's
think.
just like
I'm like you cannot wrap your entire existence into your children. You just can't.
into anything.
Into anyone.
You really shouldn't. It shouldn't be your job.
That's
it shouldn't
right.
be your partner.
That's right.
Yeah. So if you find yourself just like so codependent on a certain aspect of your life, that's never going
Gotta
to end in a
reevaluate.
healthy
people like
way.
this, mothers like this are so strange to me too, because you remember a while back where that woman put an ad in the paper for her son?
Yes.
Where she was
Yes.
like very specific. She's like, I have a fat ass or whatever.
Yes.
Remember? It was
Yes.
very
Oh my
weird.
God.
Oh my goodness.
But like
Yeah.
these moms, like they want their kids to be partnered up. Because they're always like, she pushed so
yeah.
hard for him
Yeah.
to get partnered up, but they don't want to be superseded
right
in
They
the
still wanna be
relationship,
number one.
Yeah,
which
it
is
doesn't
so
make sense.
strange.
Yeah. I'm not going to even
The
try to
psychology of
unpack
that.
Yeah.
It's, woof.
If you're a psychologist,
Yeah. Want to hear
please
more?
message us and let us
Yeah,
know if you
write
know like what this is, what kind of weird personality thing is going on here.
We'll
I'd
read
love
that
to
on
know.
a shorty.
yeah,
Love to know.
seriously.
Oh man. Well, what are you guys watching this week?
I started the documentary series on HBO Max, or just Max now, I guess. The Love Has Won documentary.
Which one is
one.
that? Is that the
don't know
Twin Flames?
No,
one?
I do want to start that one. I did listen, but I listened to the podcast, so I kind of feel like I already know it.
Yeah, but I'm like, I did listen to the podcast too, but I'm like,
wanna see all these people.
I saw the preview of it, and I
Yeah.
was like,
They're
I have
bananas.
opinions.
But
Yeah.
no, the Love Has Won one, it happened during lockdown. And this isn't giving anything away because it's literally the beginning of the episode. But there was this woman, and she called herself Mother God.
Yes, I know this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've talked about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so during lockdown, like the police footage is fucking bananas because she had a series of father gods, right?
Yeah.
And they go into the house
And she's
they're like,
dead, right?
yeah, they're like, where is she? And Father God is like, so these people are over here and Mother is resting. She's in rest. And like leads them into the bedroom. You just see the bed covered in Christmas lights. Like she's wrapped up in Christmas lights in a sleeping bag with only her eye. You can only see her eyes. She's been dead for a long time and she's blue. Because she died from, spoiler, in part from drinking too much colloidal silver.
Oh my God.
Because they thought it could heal everything. And it is insane. Like, it is so it's one of the craziest things.
Insane.
And they interview members who still are like, yes, Mother, they
She'll be
believe in
back.
it. And they're showing like, this is Mother God's team, like ethereal team. And it's like Robin Williams, Michael Jackson. Robin Williams is like the number one.
Obviously.
Keep my name out your fucking mouth.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, don't bring me into this. Do not bring me into this. Yeah. So,
it ain't me.
yeah. So, and there only one episode at the time of this recording is out. There's a 3-part series. I
Well-
think the second one will be out by the time this one comes out. And it is bananas.
Well, I can't. I know what I
Yeah.
want to be watching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it
same.
truly insane? You know? Oh,
Wow.
I haven't watched Dick All. I was in.
Nor should you
Hawaii.
have. You were banging
was
it out.
Banging.
Yeah.
That's
You're
what
busy.
I did.
We know what you saw.
Also my research, and then I was like, why are there chickens? And I guess because like they used to be on sugarcane plantations in Hawaii, and then when sugarcane dropped, they were just like, just leave them.
To eat the, like, worms or something?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so. And then they were like, well, just leave them. But like you do not feed them or go near them because they are diseased.
Oh, God.
no.
Apparently.
Poor
so
babies.
like I know. I was just like, but there you would see like 10, a whole pack of chickens.
Of chickens.
A set.
A set.
Yeah,
But
wow.
yeah, there you go.
Amazing.
Wow. What did I watch? I feel like I've been repeating myself because I'm in a real mood right now, which is that if I'm not doing homework and I've just been in this like Hallmark mystery movies place.
Yeah.
Just cozy mystery and crocheting. That's been my like
Nice.
my reward. So like if I have like doing homework, I'm like, okay, I need a like nice quiet night. Math is brutality for me right now.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
Well, if you guys have something that we should watch, if you have a terrible date story, especially if it has to do with meeting the parents or a holiday work party, this is my favorite time of year. Go to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com, and we love you so much.
Cheers.